too bright. Okay, good morning. Good morning, people. Humans, fellow humans, HUEMONDS. Here we are once again at Department of Career Services, but it's G.school today. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning here in wonderful Pahrump or Pahrump-Kentucky, you choose. Temperature is getting warmer. Let's see what the temperature is this morning. So this is G.school, this is Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you on your journey through life. And there is what a bevy. I don't know, you tell me what. Let's see, 6 a.m., 76 degrees. Oh, it's only going to be 99 today. It's going to be a cool one. Cool. As they say, so how was your trip yesterday? What a bevy. Oops. Great. You had a great trip. How was Lucha Libre? How was Lucy, my favorite daughter named Lucy? Lucy went to the store a minute ago. She's great. Good. Okay, well, let's get started. So here we are, Department of Career Services. It is Sunday. So that means it's G.school. Got a couple big things to talk about at G.school today. Number one is the question, the meme for today is, what do you worship? So this is a debate between Bishop Barron, kind of a discussion between Bishop Barron and what's his name? Alex, somebody rather from Within Reason. Alex O'Connor. Alex O'Connor, kind of a big name now. It's popping up a lot on my YouTube. So Alex O'Connor and Bishop Barron are talking about things, and it has to do with whether there is a God that exists. So on one level, it's a very good discussion, very respectful. At one point, Bishop Barron says, quoting I think a psychologist, might be a philosopher, quoting somebody, that if you know what somebody worships, then you know what motivates them. So let's think about that for a minute. If you know what people worship, you know what motivates them. And his real point was you really know, the fundamental thing about them. And from that thing, you can know everything else. And I think they agree in the David Foster Wallace sense that everybody worships something. It could be money, it could be intelligence, it could be looks, it could be whatever. Everybody worships something. So if everybody does worship something, and you know what they worship, can that tell you what you need to know about the person? Perhaps. So I had an interesting lunch yesterday with two pastors, and part of the reason it was interesting, it was unfortunately from 12:30 to almost 3, which is great, except yesterday was the day I had to turn in my paper, which I did get turned in at 10 p.m. last night, so about 2 hours before the deadline. Am I happy with it? Not really. It would have been good if somebody had reviewed it first. Somebody that has knowledge in the field. In two fields. One is the field of Christology. Two is the field of the see, judge, act structure of writing a paper, because it was not defending a thesis, which was the original direction I went. It was, no, you're not defending a thesis. This is the see, judge, act approach. And then it's like, what? What is that? So I wrote it. Somehow that document disappeared. I rewrote it for Wednesday's class because we had to give an oral presentation. And then I decided to do let me do a chat GPT to see what a see, judge, act structure would look like. And oh, brother. So it took me about 2 hours to restructure my old paper to fit the new structure. And then we had lunch. And so then I came back and then went to church. And so really got about 6:30, really got cracking on it. So 6:30, well, it was written, reformatted, and then redone, but it's very long, too long. So am I happy with it? I could have done much better. So if somebody could have edit next time, or the idea would be find somebody who can edit it from both content and structure. But the good news, it's done. I think there's a 0.0 chance I will fail the class. So, that's good too. Anyway, so we're 6.5 minutes in. And how is the weather back there? What a bevy. Out of my line of sight. And how is your date? Oh, what time is your event? What time is your event? Temperate. Not sure what that means, but okay, great. All right, well, let's get to our paper, our thing today. Daily worksheet. What? And that bleeds into a second thing, that in our last class, before doing our papers, we had learned a modern view of soteriology, modern view of salvation. And I really liked where it went, which was to turn God from an idea, or Jesus from an idea, into a relationship. So when I'm going through these, today my mission, when I'm at church, is to see, is this an idea, or are they developing an idea or a relationship? Idea or relationship? I talked to the Jesuit about this on Friday. And it starts a little after that. We're leaving in an hour. Okay, so idea, is your religion what you worship, an idea or a relationship? So can you have a relationship with the Buddha? No. Right? Can you have a relationship with yoga? Perhaps. I think Lucy would say perhaps. I think these things are worth contemplating. Can you have a relationship? Do you have a relationship with the thing you worship? Probably. So if you worshiped money, would you have a relationship with money? Well, on one level, you can say no, because money can't have anything back. Money is what money does. Money is just the ability to experience more. can't have a relationship with money. Can you have a relationship with Jesus? And the answer would be yeah. The answer should be yes. If you believe that Jesus is who he said he was, you can have a relationship with him. So the question would be, why wouldn't you have a relationship with Jesus? And so the Jesuit was telling me his relationship with Jesus starts out thinking about walking along the beach, beautiful beach morning, I don't know, walking along the beach, feeling good, feeling the wonder of the world. And he sees a guy up there. As he's walking towards this guy who's standing there looking out at the ocean, I guess, or some big body of water. And at a certain distance, he sees the guy looking at him, and he stops. And the guy says his name. Come here. And then they start walking along together, not one in front of the other, walking along together, talking about stuff, probably kind of like in a Machiavellian type of way. Now, would that be worship? Okay, yeah. What's the definition of worship? Definition of worship: the feeling or experience of reverence and adoration for a deity. Okay, so let's say there's worship there. Would that be a relationship? Walking along with somebody, talking to them about whatever you want to talk about. Clearly, the answer is yes. If you're sitting there reading the Bible, hoping the Holy Spirit will fill you with endorphins, with serotonin, because I really learned a lot. I'm proud of my Bible. My Bible is a big deal. I've had it for 25 years. It's so marked up. Knowing Bible quotes and feeling you really know what the Bible says, and you figured out how this thing fits together. So I had a interview on Friday with somebody who likes to carry around a Quran, a Torah, and a Bible, and he can cross-reference these things. But what's missing? Relationship. Relationship is missing. So I would say today, as we're 12 and a half minutes in, I would say what we should focus on is building a relationship with whatever we worship. And I think that might help us peel away things that we should not worship. Like if it's money, and you say, okay, I want to have a relationship with money. I think it's going to leave you hollow, right? It should. You should feel desolate. State of desolation, not consolation. You should feel desolate. If it's helping the poor, let's say, can you build a relationship with the poor? Can you do as Father Boyle talks about, go to the margins, because that's the way the margins will disappear. There is no us and them. There's only us. So we're called to go to the margins, but not to make the people at the margins different, because then it's about us. We go to the margins so that they make us different. And in doing that, the margins disappear. Now, can you develop a relationship with the people out there at the margins? Yeah, and a lot of people have done that. Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Cabrini, etc. So, all right. So we're going to wrap it up unless there's anything else. What a bevy. Yes and yes. So I don't remember what the question was. Do you worship Buddha? I would say the answer would be no. And this came up Friday with the Jesuit, that is a way of life. That's not a religion. It's not, you don't worship Buddha. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. Would you agree with that? Okay, you can have a relationship with yoga and a Buddha. Okay, so that would be an interesting thing to ponder. We have a relationship to all things. Well, I guess it depends on what you mean by a relationship. I think a relationship is a two-way thing. And this is a tool. This mouse, I would say, is a tool. And I can't really have a relationship with the mouse. This mouse, even though it's a useful tool and I interact with it a lot, I don't really have a relationship because it doesn't interact with me. It's just a tool. It doesn't do anything on its own, where people do. Well, okay, so this is getting us into somewhat of a quagmire, but that's okay because we can think about it. We can ponder these ideas. What do I worship? And what is my relationship with that? Is it an idea where I need to just learn? Or is it a relationship where there's something coming back? So cool, good for you. What a bevy. Glad to see you here again. We had no Maticus von Atticus. Yep, no Maticus von Atticus today. LOL. I see. I see. Say hello to Lucy. That's too bad that she decided to leave right before the podcast. Curious. But say hello. Say hello. Have a good day. Drive safely. Drive safely. Okay. Send her the link too. I sent him the link. Who? Oh, Matt. Will do. Okay. Thanks. Good you were there. Pray for those who persecute us. Let's remember to do that. Pray for those who persecute us. And in that is praying for them, not praying that they stop persecuting us, praying for them. Just praying for them. Okay? And the incarcerated and those who are them. Okay, with that, I'm going to say cut. Shiva Sin